Hi, welcome to Wood Tools Workshop. This video is part 3 in a series on building a duplicate crock stick. If you haven't seen part 1, that's where all the exposition is, so you might want to go see that one first. There should be a link on the screen now. There's also a link to part 2. And if you've seen those, then let's get on with it. This is the one hole on the bottom. I don't know what's going on here. It's almost, but not quite, 45 degrees from this back end. It's quite a different angle from anything else we've seen. Go to this end, and it's almost, but not quite, the same as the angle of the other two. I called Carl and asked him about it, and Carl didn't even know there was a hole on the bottom. He told me drill it at the same angle as the other two and it'll be fine, but I don't feel right doing it because it's there for a purpose. And if I'm going to build one, I want it to be as good as the one that I'm copying. Where's a protractor when you need one? It's time to go to the store. Well, apparently protractors these days are kept on the same aisle with the slide rules. So I bought this guy and I hope I use him often enough to make it worthwhile. 48. Our angle is 48. At this point in the process, a cog must have slipped in my brain because it was my intention to do all the drilling and routing before I ever shaped the block. And yet here I am shaping the block as the next step in the process. I think what the deal is that I had just drilled that hole on the back, and I was thinking that I needed to shape the block in order to compare the angle of my hole with the angle of the original. Now, whatever the case, I wound up doing this next, and when it came time to route the grooves, I really wished I had not. Talk about cogs slipping in your brain. I need to cut that stock at an angle starting about 2.5 inches from the end. Now the logical way to do that would be with a jig for ripping at an angle, but I don't have one of those jigs and I didn't want to take time to build one. So I've got this piece of MDF on one side to hold it steady, and on the other side I used this piece of 2x6. Now what's wrong with this? I had a hard time with the jointer too. It just really was not my day. Now that looks good. That's it for part 3. In part 4, we will route the grooves in the side and put a finish on it and touch up anything else that remains to be done. Appreciate you tuning in to this point. Thank you for dropping in on Wood Tools Workshop. See you in part 4.